Congratulations! You just spawned in the worst, buggiest, most cursed expansion pack ever, the Middle Ages. And guess what? You're a black cat. Yeah, good luck with that. You might as well be walking around with a giant neon sign that says Satan's Little Helper on your back. You're not just a cat, you're a medieval horror story in progress. You are a glitch in the Matrix, an unholy Easter egg, the final boss of peasant paranoia. Your first moments in this world? No warm hugs, no sweet lullabies, just cold, damp misery. You spawn in an alley that smells like rotten cabbage and failed hygiene, hidden behind a crumbling stone cottage. Your mom, a battle-hardened street cat, gives you one quick lick, not as a sign of affection, as a warning. Because from your very first wobbly step on these grimy cobblestones, one thing is certain: you're cursed, and your entire existence is about to be a medieval horror story. Chapter 1. The Curse of the Midnight Coat. You're not just a cat. Nope. According to medieval logic, you're a shape-shifting witch on 4 legs, and everyone wants you dead. From the moment you step onto the cobblestone streets, pure chaos erupts. A woman drops her basket of apples. A priest charges at you like he's facing the final boss fight of his career. And the village lunatic? He starts screaming an anti-witch spell while dramatically tripping into a pile of horse dung. And why? Because they're convinced you cursed someone last night. Everyone knows that witches transform into black cats to sneak through the night, slip into homes, and perform dark magic. Bro, I'm just trying to find a shady spot for my nap. But that doesn't matter. You are officially medieval public enemy #1. A group of peasants rushes toward you, yelling that you need to return to your human form. Sorry, Oswald. The only thing I can transform into is an angrier, hungrier cat. A witch hunter hurls a net at you, because apparently nets are the ultimate anti-magic defense. An old woman clutches her chest and gasps dramatically, "I feel her! The witch! She's looking into my soul!" No, Matilda. I'm looking at that loaf of bread in your hand. And the worst part? Everyone has their own theory on how to expose you as the witch you are. One guy just starts staring deep into your eyes, waiting for you to start monologuing. A priest smears you with anti-witch butter. Why butter? No one knows. A medieval influencer, aka the town crier, screams, "Strike her! If it's a real cat, she won't survive. If it's a witch, she'll transform back." Bro, this is the dumbest logic ever. So there you are, an innocent-looking cat, but in the eyes of this village, a shadow demon, a spy for Satan, a dark entity that sneaks into houses at night to steal children's toes. Medieval life? Absolute madness. But life as a black cat? That's just survival mode. And you know what's even worse? Some people still believe this today. Chapter 2. Medieval mayhem, your daily hell. Mornings here? Absolute chaos. There's no peaceful sunbathing, no stretching like a majestic feline king. Nope. As soon as the fog lifts, you're already running for your life. The town's twisting alleyways turn into your personal jungle of doom. Every groaning door, every sudden gust of wind sends peasants into a panic. Because remember, you're not just a cat, you're a walking curse. Satan's personal foot soldier on 4 legs. And these villagers? They are not built for logic. One minute, you're chilling in the shadows, minding your business. The next, full-blown witch hunt mode. At this point, one thing is clear. The entire town wants you gone. And medieval logic? Even worse. If you run, you're a witch. If you stay still, definitely a witch. If you meow, witch. If you do literally nothing, witch. If you blink at the wrong person, congratulations. You just put a hex on their entire bloodline. This isn't just a morning routine. This is medieval Fast and Furious. You're drifting under carts, flipping over barrels, dodging arrows. Why are there arrows? And the villagers? They're so dedicated to this nonsense. A farmer trips over himself, but still manages to throw a pitchfork mid-fall. A priest is now speedrunning an exorcism while running full sprint behind you. Someone in the crowd just faints on sight. Bro, I didn't even touch you. Every single escape is a tiny victory in this never-ending game of hide from the world's dumbest angry mob. At this point, you don't even try to live a normal cat life. You just survive. And worst of all, tomorrow morning, it happens all over again. Chapter 3. Witch Hunts. When night falls, chaos reigns. As dusk hits, the real nightmare starts. Nighttime in the Middle Ages turns your world into a stage for pure chaos. One moment, you're chilling in a quiet dark corner, and the next, you're sprinting like a mini ninja as a mob of angry villagers chase after you. These villagers, fueled by fear and old superstitions, storm the streets with torches blazing and voices raised in angry shouts. They don't just whisper curses, they fling buckets of holy water, slap you with rough hands, and even try to interrogate you under the glare of burning torches. It's like every scary superstition has come to life, and you're forced to star in a twisted action movie. With your heart pounding and adrenaline surging, you're determined to survive. Every desperate sprint is your way of flipping the bird to the curses and old beliefs that try to write your story. You keep running, dodging, and staying one step ahead of those who want to wipe you out. Chapter 4. Love, Lamentations, and a Dash of Defiance. Just when you think life couldn't get any crazier, boom. Fate throws you into the most high-stakes, action-packed romance since Romeo and Juliet, except with more fur and way less logic. A cat with battle scars, attitude, and the kind of presence that makes medieval peasants drop their bread out of sheer intimidation. Our eyes meet. Romantic music? Nope. More like a slow-motion battlefield stare that says, "Damn, we are both so unbelievably cursed." Her fur, bold stripes, fresh scars, and an energy that screams, "I once fought an entire flock of geese and won." No time for cheesy love songs, no poetry, just two disaster felines exchanging a single, knowing glance. Because in this world, love is just another thing that will probably get you killed. Midnight meetings and dumb medieval romance tropes. You start meeting in secret, not because it's romantic, but because literally everyone wants you both dead. A flickering lantern casts dramatic shadows as you share sarcastic one-liners about your doomed existence. Somewhere, an owl hoots, immediately mistaken for an omen. A monk panics and throws holy water in a random direction. A passing dog gives you both the side-eye like, "Y'all are idiots for this." Still, these small, stolen moments feel like a rebellion. If being cursed means I get a partner in crime, I'm down, you think. She blinks back. Translation? Same, but let's not get caught and burned alive, thanks. But of course, this love story is doomed. 1 minute, you're curled up in a quiet abbey, plotting ways to cause chaos. The next, someone sneezes too loudly and suddenly the entire village is on fire. A random peasant screams, "The cursed cats are summoning the devil!" A friar full body tackles an empty barrel in pure confusion. A pigeon lands on your head, and now you're the official harbinger of the apocalypse. No choice. You both bolt into the night, but as you race through the maze of crumbling archways and shadows, her tail briefly brushes against yours, and for a second, despite the absolute dumpster fire your lives have become, that single touch says, "Screw it, we keep fighting." Because love in these cursed times, it's not just romance, it's a weapon, it's a shield, it's a massive middle finger to every medieval idiot who thinks two cats in love can bring about the end of the world. Chapter 5. The Irony of Fate, Your Legendary Rebellion. After every death-defying escape, you collapse onto a crumbling stone wall, gasping for breath. You stare blankly into the night. You should be a hero. You single-podedly keep this plague-infested town from drowning in rats. But do they thank you? No, because you're not just any cat. You're a black cat, the walking omen of doom, the four-legged shadow of Satan himself, the living, breathing reason these medieval buffoons think they're all dying. They don't see a skilled hunter. They see death on pause. The black cat curse, your greatest crime? Existing. To these people, the plague isn't caused by flea-ridden rats crawling through their disease-soaked streets. Nope. According to the finest medieval science, it's you. A man sneezes? Your fault. A cow drops dead? Definitely your fault. A pigeon explodes? Unrelated, but you still get blamed. So what do? They start killing every black cat they see. Not the actual plague-spreading rats. No, that would make sense. Instead, they slaughter the only thing keeping them from turning into one giant flea-ridden corpse pile. 1 minute, you're hunting disease-ridden vermin. The next, you're dodging an entire execution squad. A mob ties a black cat to a log and pushes it down the river like some satanic Viking funeral. By now, your mere existence is a medieval war crime. Every morning you wake up and 1/3 of the population has dropped dead. And somehow it's still your fault. You'd leave this town, but guess what? Black cats don't have passports. You want to fight back. You want to be defiant. But how? You're a black cat. You have no weapons, no army, no rights. All you have are your tiny cursed paws, a really solid track record of ruining people's lives just by existing. So you do the only thing you can. You keep running, through filth-covered streets, past plague carts stacked high with corpses. Every leap, every narrow escape is one giant middle finger to medieval stupidity. And the irony? The more they hunt you, the more rats take over. The more rats take over, the more they die. Chapter 6. Beyond the Hunt, Building a Legacy of Defiance. The witch hunts fade into bad memories, but your legend only grows. Every insane escape, every defiant glare at the mob adds another chapter to your story. A story so wild even the haters can't stop whispering about it. One misty night, wandering near the ruins of an old castle, you stumble onto a masterpiece. A pack of exhausted witch hunters, their torches barely flickering in the wind, collapsed in the mud. They were so blinded by rage, so obsessed with catching you, that they straight up forgot why they were even chasing you in the first place. You watch from the shadows, savoring the moment. Then you hit them with a slow, victorious whisker twitch. The universe itself is on your side, from hunted to legend. Deep in the city's hidden corners, your story takes on a life of its own. Kids whisper about the midnight marauder, the shadow that vanishes into the night, always outsmarting the fools who try to catch it. You're no longer just surviving, you're a symbol. Every bucket of holy water, every failed attempt to take you down, it only feeds the myth. They don't just fear you anymore, they admire you. And in their fear, a quiet rebellion begins. People start questioning the old superstitions. Maybe black cats aren't omens of doom. Maybe the real curse was blind fear all along. With every flick of your tail, every impossible escape, you carve your legend into history. A black cat, born cursed, who became untouchable. They tried to erase you. Instead, you became a revolution. Epilogue. The legend lives on. As the first light of dawn creeps over the medieval horizon, you sit perched on a crumbling wall, watching the village stir. The night's chaos has faded, replaced by a deceptive calm. You take a breath, tail flicking, eyes sharp. All the wild chases, the raging mobs, the gallons of holy water, they weren't just a fight for survival. They built something bigger. You're no longer just a cursed black cat. You're a legend, a shadow born from chaos, forged in fire, and immune to medieval nonsense. The villagers still whisper curses, still throw water, but deep down, they know. They lost. You're the midnight marauder, the untouchable spirit who outran fate, dodged death, and made fear look like a joke. They tell stories about you in taverns now, not just in fear, but with awe. Mothers warn their kids about the devil cat, yet even they can't deny the fire in your eyes. You didn't just survive superstition, you flipped it on its head. You stretch, arching your sleek back, then with a slow, smug grin, you send one final message to the world. I'm still here. Demon, curse, omen. They call you many things. But what you really are? A legend. The Midnight Marauder, the Shadow of Salem, the OG of oh shit, there's that cat again. They tried to erase you. You became history. Here's to you, the black cat who turned fear into fuel, superstition into rebellion, and survival into dominance. The village wakes. Another day begins, and your story, it's never going away.